Hey everybody, it's Steve here, and welcome to Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. Yeah, step into the shadows of the Hell House, and yeah, they make the game sound a lot more threatening than it really is. Anyway, it's time to start up a new game. We're doing Castlevania 2 this time. First thing you're going to notice about this game is that it's different than the others in the Castlevania series. It has more of an RPG feel to it. I'm going to talk about the game a little bit, more in detail in a bit, because you're going to find that we're going to actually have quite a bit of time to talk. And I'll explain everything later. You start off with 50 hearts. Hearts in this game do not go towards your weapon ammunition like they did in the previous game. They're your currency, basically. You start off with 50. First thing you're going to want to do is go into that house there and buy some holy water. Now, from this point on, this game gets a lot of flack. It seems to be the game that everybody loves to hate, basically. And one of the reasons, and there's many of them, and we'll talk about them as we go along, is that right off the bat you have to grind for hearts, and you have to do a lot of it if you want to, do 100%. If you want to get every item in the game, etc., you need to grind for hearts. So some might view this first video, and possibly even into the second video, as being very boring, because basically it's going to consist of me simply going back and forth across, one or two screens, killing the same enemies over and over and over again, just to grind for hearts. There's still two more things in the first town there that we need to buy. You don't need to. One you do, one you don't. One is a white crystal. See, alright. Here's another problem that people have with the game. It's the night and day system. I personally don't have a problem with it. The game does keep track of time. It changes from day to night. At night the enemies are stronger, they take more hits to kill them. The hearts that they drop are worth more. But the problem is every time it switches from day to night, you have to sit through that text that says, what a horrible night to have a curse, when it changes to night, and then the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night, is what it says when it turns to day. Some people complain that it takes too long. I don't think it takes long at all. You've got to be pretty impatient or have a very short attention span, or in this quick fix society we live in today, where everything's got to be fast. I don't know. If you find sitting through that text to be too long, I don't know, there's something wrong. I don't think it's that bad. But I like to make excuses for things a lot in life. I find that things that I probably should complain about, I usually find excuses for them. And I try to find a way to excuse things if they don't sound as bad as they really are. But for all the flaws that I'm going to point out in this game, to me they're not that bad, and it is still an enjoyable game. Does it compare with with the rest of the Castlevania series? No, not by a long shot, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Basically, like I said, I'm just going to grind here back and forth for hearts. I'll keep checking my menu once in a while to see how many I've got. Like I said, I want to have 150 before I go back to that first town to finish buying what I need. In the meantime, we can talk about the plot for this game, which is a bit elaborate for its time. Obviously, in the first Castlevania, Simon Belmont killed Dracula. In this game, we learned that before he did kill Dracula, that Dracula placed a curse on Simon, and the only way that it can be broken is if Dracula is revived and brought back to life. So Simon's on a mission to collect 5 body parts of Dracula that he needs in order to resurrect him, and then once he does, obviously he's going to want to kill him again. So he has to resurrect Dracula to break the curse, and then kill Dracula again. And that's the plot of the game, and I find it to be kind of elaborate for its time. I also find it kind of interesting that it's always or it seems to always be the second game in these game series that is like the black sheep of the series. Yeah, here's the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. You know, that doesn't take too long, and then it switches, and yeah, I don't see the big deal there, why that's considered a bad thing. But it seems like the second game in the series is always the black sheep, whether it be the American version of Super Mario 2, whether it's this game, Zelda 2. It seems like the second one is always the one that's different. And I think it's just in our nature to dislike things that are different than what we're used to, you know. I mean, I'm no different. I like I get in a comfortable rut, and I like what's familiar and what's comfortable, and I don't like to branch out too much. So when it comes to games, when I see one that does, such as this, I find it a little bit inspiring. And I'm not trying to make this game out to be, you know, the greatest game of all time or anything, because it's not. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't see anything wrong with, you know, a game being a little bit different and trying to not just basically be the same game over and over and over again, like some game series do. You know, even like Mega Man. I love Mega Man to death, but let's face it, I mean, especially all the NES games, they were all the same. So being different sometimes isn't a bad thing. That's what I guess what I'm trying to say. So we're just gonna keep grinding away. The menu there that keep popping up. It's got the time on it. Obviously, it's not real time. I don't know what the ratio or whatever you want to call it is for real time to game time. You do gain levels in this game. There's an experience. A spot for experience points there, and you level. It doesn't have too much of an effect on the game, really. I think it only has something to do with how long your health meter is, basically. Then, of course, the appropriate inventory slots down below. I'm gonna go for 100% here. A lot of the items you need in order to complete the game. A lot of them you don't. I'm gonna try and get everything, just for the sake of it. Which is why you're going to see me doing some extra grinding here, because, as I started to say earlier, the one thing that we need is the white crystal, which you're going to get from this this person right up here. Yeah, we're going to buy that. And then the other thing would be the thorn whip, which again you don't need, because not long after this you're going to get the next whip upgrade. So it almost seems kind of silly, maybe even a bit pointless to buy the thorn whip, but just for completion's sake, I'm going to show you where it is. It'll be right in here. As for music, I really dig the music that's played in the towns. Call me a geek, whatever. I know I am. That's everything that we're going to want to buy in this town. Now we can finally move on. Well, of course, not after it's another horrible night to have a curse, but once again, the only problem is that we're going to be getting to the second town very soon, very quickly. And there's some things that we need to buy there, and for that we need 200 hearts. Which means that now... Oh, what happened just there was that I gained a level. You see right there that now I'm level 1. It starts you at level 0, which is kind of strange, but... And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit got added to my my health bar. But of course we need 200 hearts now to buy everything in the next town, so I get to grind some more. But just for the sake of moving this along, I'm going to move on to the next screen. The fishmen, they're back. They don't just shoot straight, and you can see that they're shooting diagonally and everything, so you're going to want to really be careful. As always, water is instant death. If you should fall into the water or get knocked off a platform, you will lose a life. You only have 3 lives. to start with. We'll talk more about this later, but one thing to keep in mind is that there are multiple endings to the game that are all dependent on how fast you complete the game. So there is a sense of urgency to try and hurry. I'm really not concerned with that. I'm just gonna play at a normal pace, and whichever ending I get, it'll probably be the the middle, what I call the middle ending. But we'll talk about that later, I guess. Down these stairs is the next town that you're going to want to go to, but obviously, we got to grind 200 hearts first, which I probably won't even be able to do in this first video. It's probably going to trickle over into the second one as well. But after that, there shouldn't be a lot of grinding. There are those who would say, that I should edit out the grinding, edit out me just going back and forth, killing between two screens, killing the same enemies. But the way I see it, I thought about it, but if you're going to show yourself playing a game, you're going to show yourself playing the game, and this is part of it. That's just the way it goes. Some may call it boring. I don't. When I see things being edited out, it kind of bothers me, to be honest. But I'm weird like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get 200 hearts in this video. The parts to this game are going to be a little bit longer than some of the previous games I've done, because there's no real levels. I'm probably going to do a full 15 minutes for each part, and this shouldn't take long at all. Maybe 7-8 parts, maybe I'll be done. And now we're going back to daytime. Another thing about the day and night is that if you're in a town, when it switches to night, the townspeople are gone, the stores are closed, and there's zombies kind of running around the town. I'm sure we'll see that at some point. I guess while we're around here, I can talk about the townspeople. One thing is that in most games, when you come across a town, you can talk to the people, and they'll give you useful information or little hints or tips. Not true in this game. The townspeople are pretty much useless, except for the ones that you buy the items off of. Everybody else you can get information from them, but it's not, I wouldn't even call it information. The townspeople speak in riddles, and they're riddles that really have no logic, no meaning. Basically, 99% of what the townspeople tell you in this game is useless information. But it's under the guise of being helpful. Sometimes some of the things that the townspeople will say to you sounds important, but it's not. I can assure you it's not. So I'm probably not going to be talking to too many of the townspeople. Some of them do have some very funny lines. Again, I don't know if it was intentional, if it's because of the translation. A lot of these games were translated for America from the Japanese version. They do have some funny lines, whether they were intentional or not, but I might show off some of those. Yeah, we're getting close, but we're not going to hit 200 hearts in this video. I'm going to have to keep going in the next one so that we can move on to the next town. So I guess I'm going to start wrapping this up and say, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this very, what I could call a boring episode. And just know that things will get, a bit more interesting as we play through this game. So everybody have a good day. Take it easy. Peace. And I'll see you for the next video for Castlevania 2, okay? Have a good one.